Hi, guys. So, this is my first YouTube live stream. It's something I've been wanting to do. Many of you have been asking for it. So, here it is. Today's lesson is for English learners. We will be reading a book and it will be interactive. So, I will stop as I am reading and I will ask questions. And please try to participate. If you know an answer to the question, put it in the chat on the side. All right, so let's get started. Today's book is The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas. Chapter 1. Bruno makes a discovery. Who makes a discovery? Bruno. Bruno makes a discovery. One afternoon, when Bruno came home from school, he was surprised to find Maria, the family's maid. Who came home from school? Bruno. And who did Bruno find? Did he find Julia? No. Did he find Maria? Yes, he found Maria. And who is Maria? Yes, Maria is the family's maid. She always kept her head bowed and never looked up from the carpet. Did Maria walk around looking at everybody? No. Maria kept her head bowed and never looked up from the carpet. So she was standing in his bedroom, in Bruno's bedroom, pulling all of his belongings out of the wardrobe and packing them in 4 large wooden crates. Where was Maria? Was Maria in the kitchen? No. In his bedroom, in Bruno's bedroom. And what was Maria doing? What was she doing with Bruno's belongings? Right, she was pulling them out of the wardrobe and packing them in 4 large wooden crates. She was packing even the things he had hidden at the back that belonged to him and were nobody else's business. Did she only pack some of Bruno's things? Or did she pack all of Bruno's things? Yes, she was packing all of Bruno's things, even the hidden things. What are you doing? He asked in as polite a tone as he could muster. What did he want to ask Maria? He asked, What are you doing? He is surprised to see this. For although he wasn't happy to come home and find someone going through his possessions, his mother had always told him that he was to treat Maria respectfully and not just imitate the way father spoke to her. You take your hands off my things. Who told Maria, you take your hands off my things? Did Bruno say this to Maria? No. Bruno's father said this to Maria. Bruno said, What are you doing? More respectfully to Maria. Maria shook her head and pointed towards the staircase behind him, where Bruno's mother had just appeared. Where did Maria point? Where did Maria point? Towards the staircase. And who is by the staircase? Is it Bruno's father or Bruno's mother? Bruno's mother. She was a tall woman with long red hair that she bundled into a sort of net behind her head. And she was twisting her hands together nervously, as if there was something she didn't want to have to say, or something she didn't want to have to believe. So Maria pointed to the staircase because Bruno's mother is there. And what does Bruno's mother look like? What kind of adjectives can we use to describe Bruno's mother? Tall. She was a tall woman. And how about her hair? What color was her hair? Red hair. She had long red hair. And do you think that she was excited, happy, sad, nervous, angry? What can we say about Bruno's mother? How did she feel? What was she doing with her hands? She was twisting her hands together nervously. So she's feeling nervous. There's something she doesn't want to say. Mother, said Bruno, marching towards her. What's going on? Why is Maria going through my things? She's packing them, explained Mother. Packing them? He asked, running quickly through the events of the previous few days to consider whether he had been particularly naughty or had used those words out loud that he wasn't allowed to use and was being sent away because of it. So, why does Bruno think that Maria is packing his things? He's not sure, right? He thinks maybe it is something he did. Did he do something bad and now they are packing his things and sending him away? But he couldn't think of anything. In fact, over the last few days, he had behaved in a perfectly decent manner to everyone and couldn't remember causing any chaos at all. Do you think Bruno can remember something bad that he did? No, Bruno remembers behaving very well. So maybe it's not because of something bad that he did. So he asks, why? What have I done? Mother had walked into her own bedroom by then, but Lars, the butler, was in there, packing her things too. She sighed and threw her hands in the air in frustration before marching back to the staircase, followed by Bruno, who wasn't going to let the matter drop without an explanation. Was Bruno the only one who had their things being packed? No. Also, Mother, Bruno's mother. Her things were being packed. Was Maria packing Bruno's mother's things? No. Who was packing Bruno's mother's things? It was Lars, the butler. So everything is being packed. What is going on? Bruno wants an explanation. So he is following his mother. Mother, he insisted. What's going on? Are we moving? Come downstairs with me, said Mother, leading the way towards the large dining room where the Fury had been to dinner the week before. We'll talk down there. Is Mother going to give Bruno an explanation? I think so, yes. Where are they going? They're going to the dining room, right? And they're going to have a talk. Bruno ran downstairs and even passed her out on the staircase so that he was waiting in the dining room when she arrived. He looked at her without saying anything for a moment and thought to himself that she couldn't have applied her makeup correctly that morning because the rims of her eyes were more red than usual, like his own after he had been causing chaos and got into trouble and ended up crying. He says that Mother's eyes look red. Why were her eyes red? Is it because of her makeup? Probably not. Maybe because she was crying. Right, she is nervous. She had been crying. And now she is going to explain something to Bruno. Now, you don't have to worry, Bruno, said Mother, sitting down in the chair where the beautiful blonde woman who had come to dinner with the Fury had sat, and waved at him when Father closed the doors. In fact, if anything, it's going to be a great adventure. What is? He asked. Am I being sent away? No, not just you, she said, looking as if she might smile for a moment, but thinking better of it. We all are, your father and I, Gretel and you, all four of us. So now we have some explanation. Why are there things being packed? Because they're moving. Is the whole family moving? Yes, the whole family is moving. Bruno thought about this and frowned. He wasn't particularly bothered if Gretel was being sent away, because she was a hopeless case and caused nothing but trouble for him. Who is Gretel? It's Bruno's sister, Gretel. And what does Bruno think of Gretel? He thinks she's not so great. He calls her a hopeless case. But it seemed a little unfair that they all had to go with her. But where? He asked. Where are we going exactly? Why can't we stay here? Your father's job, explained Mother. You know how important it is, don't you? Yes, of course, said Bruno, nodding his head, because there were always so many visitors to the house, men in fantastic uniforms, women with typewriters that he had to keep his mucky hands off, and they were always very polite to Father, and told each other that he was a man to watch, and that the Fury had big things in mind for him. So, why is the family moving? Because of Father's job. Bruno's father, his job requires them to move. Well, sometimes, when someone is very important, continued Mother, the man who employs him asks him to go somewhere else because there's a very special job that needs doing there. Does Bruno's father have an important job? Yes, that's what Mother is saying. And they need to move somewhere else because of the job. Bruno asked, what kind of job? Because if he was honest with himself, which he always tried to be, he wasn't entirely sure what job Father did. What does Bruno's father do for his job? Bruno doesn't know. And also, we don't know exactly. So let's stop there for today. And we will try to continue in another lesson. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And we will work together to try to make these lessons as good as possible as we can for you. This is a great way to learn. I use this with many of my students, and you can benefit and improve your English with these lessons. Be sure to also check out my website, Lenguin.com, where there are English courses and resources to help you on your English journey. All right, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.